In the words of the great Denzel Washington.
You warning me? I'm preparing you.
So some of you will know, about a month ago, I don't remember how long exactly, I put up a story basically saying that I wanted to leave Instagram, wanted to delete it, and that I would make a kind of goodbye video, as it were. Explaining myself a bit more fully and wishing people good luck and saying goodbye, essentially. And that's what this is. This is the first take, at least. Who knows if this will end up being the final publication. Yeah, so I alluded to some of my reasons in the story, and essentially my feelings haven't changed much, if at all, in the last few weeks. Yeah, if anything, I've become even more apathetic about social media and about Instagram in particular. I've been on Instagram since I was 13, I think, is when I first got it at school. And I posted something. I think my first post was me with a couple of my cousins on the beach in Portugal. One of them's buried in the sand, Chris. Shout out to Chris. And I didn't really know how hashtagging worked, so I put a hashtag saying #fun_times, when really my friends quickly told me, oh no, it's supposed to be one word. And I said, well, that makes no sense. But I soon learnt, and I've used it, fairly regularly since then. I mean, not massively regularly. I didn't use it too much during my school years, but I was aware that it was kind of socially significant. And I suppose it was, I think, for people of my cohort or my micro generation, I suppose, it's replaced Facebook. So I suppose it's unsurprising that Facebook then acquired it. Yeah, so Facebook, when I was very young, Facebook was blowing up and it was the thing, it was the new thing, and everybody had it, and it was a messaging app and you could post photos and share things, and it was social media in probably the purest sense. This was way before feeds and before, or maybe not before feeds, but I think you had walls then rather than feeds, I think it was called. So you didn't really have feeds in the way that you do now, certainly. It was just about connecting with people that you knew. I think my parents' generation, who were in their 40s at the time, it was a beautiful way for them to reconnect with old friends, colleagues, etc. Whereas obviously for us, our generation, it was when you meet new people, it's a way of kind of growing your social circle to be very large. Yeah, the number of friends that you had on Facebook was really significant, or at least I perceived that it was. But I suppose in reality, it didn't mean anything, as I think we all later realised. Hopefully we realised. So yeah, I think in that context, Instagram came along and was probably a slicker, cooler, more phone-friendly version of that, a more phone-friendly kind of social media, along with Snapchat. I think Snapchat and Instagram, again, this is all before Facebook bought them and then became Meta, for those of you who are old enough to remember. And so these new phone-friendly apps and social media platforms came along independent of each other, and yeah, were very popular. I remember, I think it was Sophia who first downloaded Snapchat on my phone and helped me to create my account. This was also when I was 13. So there was that summer, the summer of 2013, I got Instagram and Snapchat for the first time, started using them. I used Snapchat quite a lot at school and then more at college, mostly to talk to girls, if I'm honest. It was a very fun, flirtatious way of, and sometimes salacious, I will say, way of talking to someone. I suppose it was a nice halfway point between calling, video calling, and texting. It's kind of a nice comfortable middle where you could pose, you could retake, you could caption, recaption, and so, but then you also could see the person. So it was very nice, very staged, very choreographed, but very fun. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So Instagram was part of this for me, and I used it, a couple of times a year. Maybe I would post and keep up to date with things, but I don't remember it being very prevalent in my psyche. It kind of remained that way for a couple of years. I liked posting, and sometimes I'd post things and delete them because I felt that they were too emotional or too personal. So I suppose that was an interesting phase for me. And also, yeah, a way to stay in touch with people that I met overseas, which was cool. It kind of ran its course in a sense. I mean, I became, relative to my own account size, my post ended up doing fairly well. I think my peak of Instagram popularity is probably when I was at college, first year college. I was looking at this recently, and there's a few posts in a row where I was getting well over 100 likes, which for anyone who remembers 2017, for someone, to get a few hundred likes on, or a couple of hundred likes, or 100 plus likes on just a post of a picture of themselves was, it's fair. That's good. I think that's fairly respectable. And yeah, that was an interesting time. But then in typical Jonas fashion, at that height, at that peak, I archived all my posts and then deleted the app. And I didn't use it for 3 years. So it was 3 years where I didn't post anything at all. I'm sure some of you remember this time. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I certainly do. Yeah, I didn't post at all for 3 years. From spring 2017 to spring 2020, I didn't post at all. I didn't have the app. And that was kind of part of a wider on and off relationship I had with social media. I had regular periods where I would stop using social media or whatever, and the Instagram thing kind of stuck. I didn't go back to that. But then eventually I did. But for some reason, I think it was during COVID, I found that I felt that I missed it and I wanted to come back to it. So I did a huge series of catch-up posts where I caught up the previous 3 years and just filled out my profile and continued in that way. I would wait a while, post a bunch of stuff, post a bunch of stuff. And that was my relationship to Instagram from 2020 till 2022, 23, when I had recorded some new music in a studio for the first time and wanted to promote it and saw Instagram as a way of promoting my music, my art, my poetry. And so that became my predominant use for the app. I saw it as a means to achieving an end, which I thought would bring me riches and glory in the commercial musical industry. So I tried very hard at several points to post a lot and to post different stuff and play that game. And that was when I was in London. So that was, for me, when I was in London, my life was outwardly very, very interesting and very, very exciting. And so I captured a lot of that, and it made sense for me to post a lot and to share things. And I enjoyed it as well. It was quite a meaningful thing for me to use the app in that way. And the shift away from having it as a personal account to being more of a kind of professional creative account was new and interesting for me. And it extended my shelf life on Instagram, shall we say, or extended my digital life. And that was from 2022 to 2025, so last year. And I think it culminated with the album release, and then obviously last year in the autumn of 2025, I left London and my life became more inward. But then I released my music video for Woman, which was great, really exciting time. And I suppose my distancing from Instagram started then, where I realized that maybe it had started before then, and that was a clear sign that it was ending. Was that the music video came out, promoted it a lot on Instagram and TikTok, but then I was really busy with my masters, which I've been doing in Southampton since September. And what really happened is that I realized my internal conditions had changed, and that I no longer had a desire to post anything anymore. It really felt like that part of my life was over, and I still feel that now. And then something happened actually in the week of Christmas. My account got suspended. It's kind of a long story, and it's related to my Michael Caine account, if anyone remembers that or even knew about that. But my personal account got suspended the week of Christmas, and that was quite affecting for me, because I realized that I didn't own my own account, that actually all my data on there doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Meta, belongs to, I suppose, Mark Zuckerberg, ultimately. Of course, I knew that these platforms and these companies do harvest your data and use it for financial gain, and we all kind of sign up to that, whether knowingly or not. But that was a moment to me where I realized, this data, which the data is my pictures, my comments, my messages, my stories, everything. It doesn't actually belong to me. Ultimately, I don't have a final say over what happens to it. That's up to Instagram or Meta, rather. And that was a moment for me where I thought, actually, I need to save this data. I need to take it off Instagram and then probably delete my account. So I suppose what I'm saying in a very long-winded way is that there are two reasons why I'm deleting my Instagram. One is I don't own my data on there. The other reason was antecedent to that, which is I just don't want to post anything anymore. I should say also that I'm not one of those people who spends hours on Instagram every day, watches reels, and gets sucked down these Tartarus-like pits of endless bilge. I would post quite a bit, but I would never use Instagram that much, because it wasn't stuff that my friends were posting. It was just random things and viral clips and stuff, which I've never found particularly interesting or enjoyable. So I suppose those are the main two reasons for me. I just don't want to post anymore. I was planning to do an end of year post, but then I just didn't, because I just don't want to. I don't want to post anymore, and I want to move on with my life and live more of a normal life, live more of an insular kind of private life, rather than sharing everything and making private things public. And I don't say that to disparage anybody who does that or wants to do that. I've spoken to friends of mine who, they love Instagram, they love sharing things, and I think, yeah, great, keep doing that. I was that way for a long time, and I don't regret it at all. I've just changed, and I need to honor that change and move on, basically. Yeah, and I mentioned as well that I'm doing a master's, I'm applying for a PhD, and I just feel totally drawn into academia and developing my mind and developing my critical skills and gaining real knowledge about history and about the world. And yeah, I'm just back to the books, really, and I'm moving away from screens in a way. And I'm 26. It's like, do I want to be using Instagram when I'm 40, when I'm 50? No. 30? No. I don't even want to be using Instagram at 27. I think, to me, that just sounds a bit lame. So whilst I'm 26, whilst I'm still I can still, in my own mind, in my own self-perception, I could still get away with it. Yeah, that's about as much as I can say. I mean, I've been speaking for about 16, 17 minutes. So I suppose this is the long version. I might do a shorter version as well. I suppose, what else do I want to say? Thank you to everybody who has enjoyed my posts over the years. I've received lots of lovely comments and messages, both over the years and also recently, since I announced that I was leaving. So I want to say thank you to you. Yeah, if you've enjoyed anything, I appreciate that, and it means that it truly was a social media. I was putting out social media, and yeah, I suppose I think I'll probably leave my account up for another week or two. Still got some final archival work to do. Then I will be taking it off. I'm still undecided as to whether I will deactivate first, then delete later, kind of stage process, or whether I'll just delete fully. I don't know. I'm unpredictable sometimes, and not even I know what I'm going to do this time. But it will certainly disappear. I will disappear off Instagram within the next couple of weeks. So I suppose, yeah, take one final look, go through my stories, go through my posts. If you're interested, if you want to, I give you full permission to screenshot and screen record anything that you want. And if you want me to send you anything, any videos or photos, just send me a message and I'll get those over to you. I suppose the only thing worth saying now is good luck and goodbye.